Have you ever seen someone smile so perfectly that it actually made you worried? Because that's exactly what fans noticed when Jungkook and Jimin recently appeared in public together. The laughs were there. The eye contact was there. The chemistry everybody loves, still there. But something else was there too. Something subtle. Something difficult to fake. Pure exhaustion. And the more fans replayed the clips, the more emotional the entire situation became. Welcome back to Jikook News, the channel where we dive deep into the moments fans can't stop talking about. Before we begin, don't forget to like this video, leave your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more BTS updates, emotional stories, and hidden moments you might have missed. Now let's talk about why fans everywhere are saying the same thing. Jungkook and Jimin looked like they were trying really hard not to show how tired they truly were. It started with just a few short clips. At first glance, everything looked normal. Jungkook was smiling politely, greeting fans, staying calm like he always does. Jimin was warm, gentle, and trying to keep the atmosphere light. But ARMY notices everything. Fans immediately pointed out how slow their movements looked compared to usual. The pauses between their reactions. The way they briefly lowered their heads when cameras turned away. Even the small moments where they seemed to lose focus for just a second. And honestly, those tiny details hit people emotionally. Because these are two idols who have spent years protecting fans from seeing their struggles. They always show professionalism first. Always show strength first. Always smile first. Even when they're clearly running on almost no energy. That's why the clips spread so fast online. Not because something dramatic happened, but because people could feel how hard they were trying. Trying to stay composed. Trying to stay positive. Trying not to worry anyone. And somehow, that made fans love them even more. For longtime fans, this wasn't just about being tired. It reminded people of everything BTS has gone through over the years. The endless schedules. The pressure of global fame. The non-stop cameras. The expectations to always be perfect. Most celebrities can disappear quietly when exhausted. But global idols? Every facial expression becomes a discussion. Every tired glance becomes a viral clip. Every moment gets analyzed by millions of people. And despite all of that, Jimin and Jungkook still tried to comfort fans instead of focusing on themselves. That's the part that emotionally destroyed people online. Fans noticed how they still bowed politely, still smiled for cameras, still made sure nobody around them felt uncomfortable, even while clearly exhausted. One fan wrote, "They always take care of us first, even when they look completely drained." Another said, "You can see how much responsibility they carry every single day." And honestly, those comments perfectly captured why this moment became so emotional across the fandom. People often forget how difficult it is to constantly live in front of cameras. Imagine being watched during your best moments and your worst moments. Now imagine doing that while millions of people around the world expect you to smile no matter how tired you are. That's the reality for idols at the level of BTS. Especially members like Jungkook and Jimin, who have become symbols not just in music, but in global pop culture. And yet, despite the pressure, fans noticed something beautiful during those exhausted moments too. They leaned on each other. Whenever one looked tired, the other naturally stepped in to keep the mood going. Small glances. Quiet smiles. Little moments of support that casual viewers might miss completely. But fans noticed. Because that bond has always been one of the most loved things about them. Not because it feels staged, but because it feels real. And during moments of exhaustion, real connections become impossible to hide. As the clips continued spreading online, the mood of the fandom changed quickly. Instead of just talking about visuals or funny interactions, fans became protective. People started saying things like, "They need proper rest. They've done enough already. You can tell they're pushing themselves." And honestly, that reaction says a lot about the relationship between BTS and ARMY. Because fans aren't just consuming content anymore. They genuinely care. They notice when members lose weight. They notice when smiles look forced. They notice when energy levels suddenly drop. And in this case, Many people felt emotional seeing Jimin and Jungkook trying so hard to reassure everyone while possibly needing reassurance themselves. That contrast was heartbreaking, especially because they never openly complain. They rarely show weakness publicly. So when fans do notice signs of exhaustion, it hits differently. But there was one specific moment fans can't stop talking about. A very short moment. Barely a few seconds. Jungkook looked away from the cameras for just a brief second, and his expression completely changed. The smile disappeared instantly. His face looked heavy, drained, like someone carrying more pressure than he wanted anyone to see. And right after that, the smile came back. Almost immediately. That tiny switch emotionally wrecked fans online, because it revealed something very human. Behind the performances, behind the fame, behind the polished idol image, there are still two young men trying their best every single day. And honestly, moments like this remind people why BTS became so loved globally in the first place. Not because they act perfect, but because even through exhaustion, pressure, and overwhelming expectations, they continue showing sincerity. Some people might look at these clips and think fans are overanalyzing. But longtime fans understand something important. Small moments often reveal the truth more than big speeches ever could. And what fans saw here wasn't weakness. It was dedication. The kind of dedication that pushes people to keep smiling even when they're exhausted. The kind of dedication that makes artists continue comforting fans even when they probably need rest themselves. That's why this moment became bigger than just a viral clip. It became a reminder. A reminder that idols are human beings too. And maybe the most powerful thing fans can do sometimes is simply notice that. What do you think? Did you also notice how exhausted Jungkook and Jimin looked recently? Or do you think they were simply having a difficult day? Leave your thoughts in the comments below because I really want to hear your opinion. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss the latest updates from the world of BTS. Thank you so much for watching Jikook News. See you in the next video.